Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and something new from Gaahleri. They are celebrating the year of the snake, which is 2025 this year, and remember last year they celebrated the year of the dragon. They did another collector's box set, and man, I can't wait for you guys to see this. They sent this out to me and told me to hold for a while, and then things kind of got messed up, but now I'm able to go ahead and show it to you. I cannot wait. The box, like I said, their boxes are always pretty bulletproof, and I'll tell you what, from experience, their boxes can take a lot more than any other I've seen. So don't worry about ordering from Gaahleri because it's going to get there in good shape. And if it isn't, they'll make sure that it is. Now, let me open this. Check it out. This is a slide open box. Very cool. I like the idea. It's new. Again, these boxes, man, that's almost a 1/16 of an inch thick. No kidding around. They are shipped to get there. The first thing you get are decals. Or not decals, stickers. I so wanted to have these on my computer already. I've been holding off on them until I get this video cut. So today, my laptop's getting a new sticker. Foam on top to keep everything scratch free. Right off the rip, you get the rebuild kits, like they send every single one of them. And now check it out. The Syphon kit, or the Syphon Feed that they just came out with is in this kit. Supporting a new, I think that's like a purplish maroon almost. The camera's not doing it justice, trust me. It's kind of a metallic maroon with the gold trim like they do. Beautiful, feels good. I mean, you saw me do the unboxing of this. I've sprayed with it a few times now. These things are awesome, and when I get to this, I'll talk to you about what I've been doing all my life, basically, because I cut my teeth with the Syphon Feed, but I want to pull this out. I am super duper excited over this. I'm going to move the box out of the way. It also, this comes with a 0.5 too, but we'll get to that in a minute. Big cup. This thing's not for messing around. It can handle a big job. This is a 0.5 millimeter airbrush. Trigger, all new design. You can see by the front, it already comes with the fan tip on it, but it does come with the replacement tip if you don't want the fan tip on there. Easy to go. A Mac valve. A Mac valve on a big gun. I mean, that'll be nice for just fine-tuning in when you're going for the, the coverage and you're just almost there. Perfect. I love it. The trigger, you pull it back. This trigger feels so nice. Pull it back. From here to here is air, and there's a positive. You can't miss feeling that where from here back, you're bringing on paint. It is very nice. It's not touchy, but it is easy, if that makes sense. You're not going to hit it and go, oh, did I just spray? No. You're going to know where the paint comes on. But there we go. Look at the color of this. The handle's redesigned. It's made to fit my hand. I literally think they took a picture of my hand because most airbrush trigger brushes, and even the old swallowtail, wouldn't make my pinky. This one does. So now I can put my water filter on there, and I won't be pushing up against that water filter. I always hated doing that because I didn't want to push against the threads. Nice feel to it. Real nice. And now, let's break this down. I'm going to bring you in here. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty excited about this. I love the swallowtail. I mean, I still use the swallowtail all the time. I can't wait to get this rolling. And I already cut a video of it that'll be coming out the end of February. So let's break this apart. We'll talk about cleaning while we break it apart. The cap comes off. Notice this does have the trigger stop on the back. I don't usually use that, So I can't tell you if it works or not because I'm always feathering with my finger. Then you got your jam nut, just like every other airbrush in the whole world. We'll pull this back about that far. Get in the habit. Just pull it back a half an inch or so. All you're doing is clearing out the seat. Now this comes with a lock ring. Just back the lock ring off. The whole lock ring comes out. I use this a few times, and I'm such a habit of taking everything off the front and dropping it in the cleaner that both times I cleaned it, I dropped this in the cleaner too, and it doesn't need to. Now you got your cover. Look at the fan tip on that. Really nice. It's big. My fingers can fit around it. Easy to deal with. And they got... This is why I'm so excited about this gun. The Mobius tip is in this gun. And this thing is awesome. This is the heart and soul of the Mobius airbrushes. It's got those grooves in there. See how those grooves are cut and angled? What that does is that makes the air come out and start twisting as it comes over the tip. And it atomizes the paint and distributes it or disperses it so much neater. And you'll see that in my video. You can really see it. But it's nice and it's big enough to where I can deal with it with my stinking Snicker bar fingers. It's not tiny. It's not small and it's not overly large. It's just easy to deal with. But I love that Mobius tip. Like I said, it's the heart and soul of these guns. Now, remember we locked this. I'm going to take it, push the needle forward. Don't pull the needle through this way. Get in the habit of always going the same direction, putting the needle in and taking it out. Always come forward with it. If you get in the habit of that, what you're going to do is when you're done spraying and you get this pretty clean, you're ready to pull the needle out, you're not pushing the needle or pulling the needle back across all these gaskets and out through here and through the spring and everything else. Any dirt that's on that needle is going to come forward with it as you pull it out. So then you just clean the needle and it just makes it a lot better for the gun. Look at that tip. Look at that. I don't even try to polish because I wouldn't be able to do it that good. I guarantee you I would get that point jerked up quick. But it works great. Now we're to here. This is where I would stop to clean. I would run my cleaning solvent in through here, run the brushes through, clean it up, flush it, and that's it. But we could take this a few steps farther here. I'm going to take the jam nut clean off just because this thread and this thread are two different, and it always seems like when I'm unscrewing that, this will unthread faster and drop on the floor. So just something to think about. Take your jam nut and get it out the way. Now I'm going to come around. I want to pull this handle off. So we'll take the quick disconnect, which both air guns have, move it out the way. We're going to loosen up the trigger nut. Long-winded. Get it out the way. It is a different size than this, so you can't mess them up. Now the trigger comes off. I'm going to move the gun out the way. We'll talk about that. It's all new design, they said. You can see it's an all new design. They say it's more ergonomical, and I'll tell you what, it feels great in my hand. I love it. They got a new back on it, a new front. It's hard plastic. I am not sure how this reacts with lacquers. I don't use them. I'm an acrylics guy, so I can't help you out there. But for me, I like it. And it did make a difference when I was spraying. It just felt better. Now we got our air valve. We can take that off. I'm going to unscrew it here. I'm not going to drop everything out of here, but we'll just go real quick here. Show you what you got. That way you don't have to take it apart. There's your valve. This moves up and down, releases air out through the holes and up into the gun. If you take it apart here, there's a little brass piece right there that will come out. So just be mindful of that. Now we can take the back off. There is a spring in here. Here's the back. I didn't unthread this whole piece here where the tensioner is, because I kind of like my tension the way it is. Here's that spring I was telling you about. Next on the list, and last on the list, is, I call it the slug. This is what that notch right there, when you push it back, it pushes this way and pushes down on that valve that I just showed you right here. This will come back, and as it comes back, it pushes down on that air valve. And that's it. And you don't have to go ever. I've never had to take a gun farther than that apart. I really haven't. The only other thing that you might have to do, and that's why I showed you here, is if you get some gunk up in through here, you're not using your filter or whatever, you might have to take these apart and just clean them out. I've only had to do that once my entire life, and that was because I wasn't using a filter. The Mac valve, if you gunk this up so much that your Mac valve starts to just be tight, you can take it apart. It will need a wrench right up here. This just unscrews, the whole Mac valve comes out of the way, and you clean it up real good. All that is a little air seat that moves in and blocks the air that goes down through here. It comes up through here, this comes in and just blocks the air. And it's like a, it's just a valve. It's not a needle valve, but it's close. And that just screws in, that's all the way off. Don't crank on it. You don't want to use this to shut the air off. You just want to use it to throttle the air. I leave it all the way back. As soon as I feel tension, I know it's all the way back, and we're good. But there's the inside. So now you don't ever have to take that apart unless you really want to deep clean it. Inside there, inside the front, look at how you got the 4 jets there for the air to come out. And that goes onto those little rings and it spins up. Very cool. Now, we'll put it back together. It's just this easy. Take this, drop it in. This does not have an alignment except for these 2 pieces, so it will kind of go in upside down, but that goes towards this. Ready? Gone. It lines up with the trigger, so now that we're good there, we can put the spring back in. We can put our back plate back on. Make sure you don't cross thread that. It is a brass fitting. You can feel it. If you go backwards, you'll feel it click, and then you can go forward. There's that. I'm tightening everything up finger tight. I don't really ever crank anything on. It's not necessary. Let's put the air valve back in. These are all gasket seats. Put that on. Bring it up till it stops. Done deal. The handle goes in. See the notch? Notch drops in. Our lock nut goes on. It's just this easy. Now I did do this with the Syphon Feed in the Syphon Feed unboxing video, so I won't bore you with that. Unless, if you want me to do it again, let me know, and I'll do a whole teardown on it again if you want by itself. Put it on our quick disconnect. I do give that kind of a quick tight because I spin this around a little bit, and if this is snug, I don't want this backing off and leaking air there. So that's about the only thing that I really tighten up. Now, let's put this back together. We'll start with the jet. We'll lay the cap in. I'm going to turn the cap about that far. You'll see why in a second. Put the nut back on it. I'm going to turn this again. Kind of keep my thumb on it while I bring that down. When I tighten it, then I can turn this to where it wants to be, and I'm good. Just like that, I'm good and tight, ready to go. We're going to go put the jam nut on now. How about if I put it on the right way? The needle, I always put my finger right here. It gives me a place to put the needle down onto and then line it up. I've done that ever since I was little, and it always works. Push it in through. You can see it in there. There it goes. Push it up till you feel it stop. You don't have to crank it in there. Once it's stopped, it's stopped. Tighten up your jam nut. We'll put this back on, and I want to show you one more thing before I'm done. I was asked, how do you blow this down? It doesn't have, you can't just stick your thumb in the front. When you're cleaning it, you know, you got the cup on there with solvent in there. Just pinch it this way. Pull your trigger back. That's all. Just remember there's a needle sitting right there. So when you pinch it, keep that needle from where it's going to come back at you. And then just pull the trigger back a little bit, and you'll get your bubbles in there, and you'll back flush that. It's that easy. We'll put this back on. Again, go to where you feel it click. Put it back on. Snug is snug. You don't have to crank it. The cup, look at how clean that is in there. Nice and shiny. Makes it easy to clean. My big fingers fit in here with the paper towel, so I can wipe that out with cleaning solvent on it and get it clean and then dry it out real nice. This is my new A game right here. And it just fell off. I like it to be able to fall off. I hate it when these things get so tight that they won't come off, and then you finally get it off and paint goes everywhere because you're like, ah. To me, that thing just keeps the dust out. It's not made to where if you tilt it too far, it keeps the paint from rolling. Keep that in mind. It's just to keep dust out. That's all it's for. But there we go with the new TG. It is going to be on sale by itself, but if you don't have that Syphon Feed, get this kit. It for the price point with what you get, it's super worth it. Now I want to talk about the Syphon Feed just for a minute. If you're done watching, thanks for watching. If you want to see just a little bit of something about the Syphon Feed that I was asked on cleaning, stick around just for 2 more minutes. This was brought up, and it was a darn good question. You got this jug full of paint. You already sprayed everything. Now you take this apart, and they were saying, you know, when I take it apart, I always get a whole ton of paint come out of here. Treat it just like it's a cup. Paint what you're painting. When you're done, put your finger up front, push down, pull back just a little bit. That'll take all that air and push all that paint back down into the tube, and you'll blow bubbles down in here. You know, once you get bubbles blowing, that your tube is pretty cleared out. Then you can take this off, and you don't have a mess. So that was a big holdback for the person. He was saying, I want that, but every time I had one and I used it, I would get a mess. I've used this a couple of times now. I have not had one drop of paint fall out of the bottom of it doing what I did. So there you go with the Syphon Feed. I love this. It is awesome for if you're going to do a lot of painting in a day. You can get 4 or 5 of these bottles, set one up with cleaner all the way to the brim, and then mix your paints in there in the different bottles. Go on. Fire your first one off, paint what you got to paint, back flush it, take that one off, put your cleaner on, back flush it a couple of times, spray it. Yeah, you're going to get that paint in here, but you're not going to, in one session, you're not going to dilute that paint enough or that cleaner enough to where it's not going to clean. So you do that a couple of times, then you blow it out a few times. Take a paper towel. Get some of that cleaner on a paper towel. If you don't have that paint in there anymore, you know you're good to do the next color. Slap on your next color and go to town. It is a time saver, especially at the mixing table, because I can mix a bunch of them, get them just right, and then I can go to town. And that's the beauty of a Syphon Feed. Not only that, but this Syphon Feed comes with the 0.3, I think it's a 0.3, 0.28 or something like that, and a Monster 5. The old Swallowtail came with a 0.7, and I'm telling you, I've done a lot of cars. I've used the 0.7 one time. It paints a lot of paint really fast, and it makes it to where I had to move faster than I wanted to. So the 0.5 is just right for me. But there you go. Our Majestic Snake Collection going back in the box. I will be breaking this out today. Look at that. Again, I'm going to back you out again. The boxing is amazing. It's a collector's. There's only 500 of these bad boys being made. So you definitely want to jump on it. And it gives you a nice place to display. This thing's going to look awesome on my stand over here. I'm pointing to the right. But with that, I will let you go. I want to thank Gaahleri for giving me the opportunity to show everybody this. And I want to give everybody the opportunity to save 10% on these two. When you go buy them, use Grandpa Mark's Hobbies as the coupon code. Automatic 10% off of your order. But there you go. The Majestic Snake Collection. I am Mark. This is Grandpa Mark's Hobbies. You all have a great day and a better tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching.